I'm going to try and make this as short as I possibly can. I'm working on the basis that half of you are drunk, and the other half haven't a clue about what I'm saying anyway. So we're all right. So number one, welcome, Madam Celebrant Klein. Thank you very much. Honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, bride and groom, and the new Mr. and Mrs. Denton-Giles. I'm Amy's dad. My name is Kieran. This is Sue. We'd like to say, how do you do? Welcome to Amy and Sam's beautiful wedding celebration, and to Klein for such a moving ceremony. In particular, Marilyn and Chris, who unknowingly laid the foundation to today, some 37 years ago, when they looked into the face of their newborn son, and I have no doubt made a prayer saying where they would have thought, one day Sam will have a moment when he would meet a special someone to love and share his life with. And to all of you who have travelled from far and away, from Canada, the Derry girls from Thornhill, New Zealand, USA, Singapore, Ireland, the Isle of Person, man. I'm not sure what the... Yes. The four corners of England, thank you very much for making this effort to get here. I don't want to go over what was being said, but thank you. And finally to the wedding suits. I think they clocked up the most miles, travelled the furthest, covered the most countries, and arrived in time. Thank you, Sam. And to you all, Giadív agus Céad Míle Fáilte Riva, welcome. That's a bit of the old back home lingua. Amy, our beautiful youngest daughter, a radiant bride and really glowing today. Could be a tear here, a bit emotional. It's the last one. Last time I'm going to have to stand up and do this. But I sort of thought that was gone, it was all over. And then several weeks ago, Sue mentioned bridal outfit, and that was sort of enough to bring a tear to any man's eye. But here we are, we've got there. Around about the time that Marilyn and Chris were making their wish for Sam, Sue and I were thinking, time for baby number 3.
Baby number 3.
We'd already been twice blessed with beautiful Rachel,
Favourite? No.
handsome Ronan,
Only boy.
and we thought halfway through renovating an old house, it's a good time to have a third child. So off we went. We thought we'll give this a go. I think in amongst all the renovating and building, things got a bit mixed up. But anyway, 9 months later, Sue popped in and said, by the way, I'm expecting. So you got blessed again. And then she popped back after a checkup and said, it's twins. I thought God's got a sense of humour. 9 months later, we had Halloween night, 1983. 5 minutes after Fiona, Amy Mellon was born. She was our wee dote, a sleepy wee thing, a very fine-mouthed and fussy eater. Singapore cured that. And very, very occasionally, I'm surprised to hear other people refer to this, very slightly stubborn. She enriched our lives with many lovely, happy memories. The twin relationship, two kids that sort of grow together, or incubated together, born together, and then grow up differently. It's really an interesting thing to be part of. Taking them out for Sunday dinners, breaking the bank, special day, and all you could be expected to give was sausage and chips. Dropping off on social nights, up at the Gidor, and places like that. You can stop at the front, you can stop at the back, but never outside the front door.
And don't beat the horn.
And whatever you do, don't beat the horn and no blowing kisses.
What about the beach boys?
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't fault anybody. Yes. Well, that was it there. I always found cooking a good heavy garlic dinner or spaghetti bolognese when your girls are going out for a dance, especially when the guys who were going to meet you taught. It worked. Anyway, things like that. Being a twin, being independent, we're going to go to different universities and then spend the rest of the 3 years every other week visiting each other. And then finally, the big trip to Singapore. I was thinking it was interesting that Amy and Sam, they were both in London at the same time. But that wee prayer obviously wasn't going to get answered then. So they might have frequented the same watering holes, but like sliding doors, they weren't going to meet. It was only, as I discovered, a sort of an invitation to a party in Singapore where both being reluctant and decided, well, okay, I'll go, that they met. And I sort of summarized with eyes across a crowded room, and Sam had his moment. It looked like that 35-year-old prayer was being answered. It makes you think. Sam, we want to welcome you into our family from the bottom of our hearts. We can see how happy Amy is with you. We got a sense of your love and empathy regarding your alcohol abstinence during Amy's pregnancy. Not even Lent lasts that long. Your depth of care when Amy got pregnant, when you told her just to turn up to the wedding and she wasn't to worry about anything, we thought, you know, what a man.
Yeah.
Sam just doesn't give you a choice of menus. He gives you a choice of venues, and he gives you a choice of countries to turn up to. I was expecting Sam to turn up with a moon bump and put all us other men to shame. And then I looked it up. I thought, well, get one step ahead of the posse. And I discovered you can make your own with a helmet and a roll of gaffer tape. And actually, when you look at it a bit closer, there's room for a couple of beers. Just for you, Sam. Doing loans. Anyway, I know you've got Amy's well-being at the forefront of your thinking. Regarding that meeting in Singapore, we were sort of trying to get a chance when you could get out, you know, mano to mano and whatever. I thought I need to have a chat. I wanted to talk to Sam about, you know, his income, his ability to support a family. I did ask. I practically had everything from tax returns. He was very reassuring, and he let me know he was financially secure. And I like to see now that he's demonstrated that and how he intends to look after Amy and so on, and he can look after another family. He's got a big apartment. He's got a live-in housekeeper. And I just want to say that Sue and I are selling up and we're going to be moving in. And he made a big impression the time when we went out to Singapore, went to Vietnam. And everywhere Sam went, I'm talking about Vietnam, everywhere Sam went, it was a cup of coffee upstairs, first floor. Why? You could see the view. Sue was really impressed with us. Everywhere we go now for a cup of coffee, first floor, up you go. And we live in a bungalow. But Sam's not perfect. He has problems. I know. Every time you mention Soldiers Field, Chicago, he goes all deaf. And when you reflect last year in Dublin, it just sort of glazes over.
Rugby.
Oh, Jesus, rugby.
Yes. The one good thing about Sam is he doesn't play tennis. He's not a tennis player. Love means nothing to them. So, when Aaron married Fiona, I said to him at the time, I didn't know whether we were gaining a son or a triplet. I think after today, I feel our triplets have metamorphosed into quadruplets. And boy, has it been a long gestation. And one birth that we've all been able to share in. But it was well worth the wait. So I wanted just to say, to emphasize what Sam had mentioned earlier, credit to both parents, to Sue and the work and the effort, and I know what she went through when she was having the kids, and to Marilyn. I'm told Marilyn was the best mother New Zealand ever produced, a fantastic mother, and she produced such a fantastic, fine young man as Sam. Chris and Dean promised to buy me a couple of pints if I said that. To Sam, well, Sam, Amy may not be perfect. Well, you are to us, Pep, but I'm just saying, I'm using it. But in the words of Robbie Burns, to see her is to love her, and to love but her forever. For nature made her what she is, and never made another. Right. Yep.
You got this. You got this.
I was been working on that one. All right. So to everybody else here, they say it takes a village to raise a child. You know, you often say that in your educational chats and everything else. So, you know, to give love, support, friendship, security, shoulders to cry on, big confidence. You know, it involves the parents, the grandparents, the uncles, aunts, the friends. And you have been these to Amy and Sam. You have been their village. You are the village people. Not loud enough. A bit differently dressed, but... So, and here you are today, looking all handsome, well turned out, gorgeously beautiful, in, I hope, not too overpriced gowns and dresses. But I want to thank you for that support, and hope that looking back and to you guys in your group, that your community continues, grows, prospers, endures. Ladies and gentlemen, the village people. Okay, finally, almost, words of wisdom. I looked up and I thought, quick words of wisdom. And I thought, it's very conflicting. It's not really very helpful when you consider the early bird catches the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Or eagles soar, but weasels never get sucked into jet engines. Anyway, and so when you get advice, people of my age group, they'd be very good at giving advice, but you've got to take the old warning that the older we get, the better we were. So basically, marriage is a novice handicap. You'll always start at the bottom. Everything that turns up, every new job, every baby, it's all bottom up. Don't worry about it. The only time you ever start, ever at the top, is when you're digging a hole. And I know all about digging holes. So I'm going to use a couple of other quick references. Paul McCartney, love is all you need. Enjoy it, give it, nurture it, share it. We're looking back and reflecting, when you've got your health and happiness, you're loaded and you're made up. Love is what wakes you up in the morning. I don't know who said that one, but it came up in a wee book of silly comments. Wake up with a smile. Yeah. It's the second best thing you can do with your lips. Promise never to Promise never to waken up grumpy. Let him lie on. And then as you rise in your careers and you aspire and you become great people, remember poor old Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, first astronaut, 20th century hero. Every Friday night, what does his wife say to him? Neil, get the garbage out. So, Amy, we're so blessed to have you in our lives and to be in yours. We are so proud and respectful of the beautiful, strong young woman that you've become and all that you've achieved. I want you to know that I have lived and loved more deeply because of what you brought into my life. It's all an act. And of all our beautiful children, I want to say, I love you, every one the most.
I'm the favorite, Dad.
Anyway, I never mentioned Neil once, and I'm not going to mention him anymore. So everybody eclipsed what everybody else was saying. I thought if I had a word with Ben last night, we could make sure we weren't treading on each other's toes. But I had this certain as the final toast to Mr. and Mrs. Denton-Giles. No, not the. So, our toast to Mr. and Mrs. Denton-Giles, and I'm going back over what Rona mentioned earlier. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam and Amy. Or Amy and Sam.